Hello guys, this is another video on astrology. If you want to follow my astrology YouTube where I have a lot of videos on astrology, you can go to my Unleash Misery channel. You can learn a lot more about astrology. I try to tell everybody, keep an open mind because there are so many different astrologers and there's so many different types of astrology that you can learn a lot by diving into the different systems. I don't believe in staying in one thing. I don't believe in doing things exactly one way. Okay, this is why I be having beef with other healers because they are so this is this way and this is this way, and I'm just like, nah, we're gonna blend that shit. Okay, we're gonna blend it and see how it works out for everybody. Okay, so when it comes to this video is going to be on how you know someone is good for you through astrology, like as far as a relationship is concerned. Okay, so the main thing that I feel a lot of people are like, well, you know, he has his Venus in Cancer and I have my Venus in Cancer. So our Venuses both, you know, are the same. So, you know, it should work out, right? Not necessarily. Okay. And then the whole myth of you guys being the same sign. So that should work. Oh, we're both Aquariuses. So it should, no. Okay. First of all, you have a whole natal chart. Your chart is like this. So technically you have, whether you believe in 12 or 13 signs, because I do have some of my 13 signs watchers out there. This is why they watch me, because I'm a 13 sign astrologer, right? So you have all these signs in your chart. Okay. You have, like in this particular chart, they have Taurus and it's ruling the third house here, right? Okay, so you may have Taurus ruling your third house. So that matters. It's not just your sun sign. It's not just your rising. It's not just your moon. Those are your three biggest ones that dictate how you are as a person and how you come off to people. Yes, but that's just like super basic. Okay, it's super like basic B. I say basic B tarot astrology. Basic B astrology is, oh, well, my rising is this and my moon is this, and I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to knock that. It's really great to know those placements, but don't act like you know yourself entirely just by knowing those 3 or 4 placements in your chart. You have a Neptune, you have a Saturn. Saturn, if you don't know your Saturn, then cut it out. Like, honestly, your Saturn is a big one. Okay, Saturn to me is very, very important. If you want to know what your rising sign is, you definitely need to know what your Saturn is. Okay, that's important. And that's important also when you're talking about relationships. Okay, because if you have a strong Saturn placement in your relationship, that talks about commitment, because Saturn is a committed planet. So if you have, like, for instance, Venus conjunct Saturn, like your person's Venus, right, is conjunct your Saturn. This person who has their, let's say that your person has their Venus in Sagittarius and you have your Saturn in Sagittarius. They sit next to each other in y'all charts, right? That indicates a long-standing commitment. It means that this person's Venus wants to stay with Saturn. Now, Venus and Saturn are very similar, but when they come together, it talks about commitment, okay? So that's what I mean by knowing more about someone's chart, and your chart together will definitely tell you more about whether you're meant to be committed or not. How do you do that? It's called a synastry chart. A synastry chart is where you put 2 charts together and you see how the energies will play out. This is great for business partnerships. This is great for love partnerships. This is great for how you affect your children. You can see what effect you're going to have on your children, which is very important. I think astrology, I love mother astrologers because when they know their baby's chart, like I know my baby has a Sagittarius moon. I know he needs freedom. I know he's probably going to leave my house when he's 16, 17. I left my mom's house when I was 17. I already know that, so that I'm not like, oh my God, why does my son want to leave early? He has a Sagittarius moon. He needs freedom, okay? It puts it right in my head. Why is my son so free and out there? Sagittarius moon. Makes sense, okay? You know your child. So when it comes to synastry charts, you put your charts together and you look at where you have contacts together. So if you see a lot of contacts with this person in the 7th house, like you guys both have a lot of stuff in the 7th house, like say you have a man and his Mars sits in your 7th house. You're a woman and his Mars shows up in your 7th house. So let's say you have 7th house in Libra. Libra rules your 7th house and his Mars is in Libra. That is a very strong indicator that this person is going to try to be in a partnership with you. Because Mars is definitely a very big ruler for a man. And then for it to sit in a woman's 7th house, which is 7th house rules partnerships, he has a very strong motivation to come into a partnership with this woman, whether it be business or relationship. He can't help it almost. Okay, it's a lot of drive there to get into a relationship with that particular woman. Is that the only placement? Of course, probably not. There's probably other placements. Okay, I'm trying to think of a good one. Juno is a really big one. Me and my first husband actually have our Junos conjunct. Our Junos are in the same position. Now, this is probably because we were born so close to each other. We're literally 2 months apart, literally exactly to the date, 2 months apart. But his Juno was conjunct my Juno. So when we got married, it made sense. Juno is the asteroid of marriage. So our asteroids of marriage, like, were sitting next to each other, okay? I've actually had, Juno is a big indicator of marriage because my best friend, I looked at their charts, and I actually have this on my Unleash Misery channel. So if you ever want to see this particular thing played out that I'm about to say, you can go on there and just Google Juno. Just go on my channel and search Juno. But my sister and my best friend, they both got married, and the year that they got married was their Juno return. Now, what's a Juno return? A return is just like your solar return, right? The sun returns to the place that it was when you were born. Your Juno return is the same thing. Your Juno return to the place where you were born, right? So Juno, the actual asteroid in the sky right now, is where it was when you were born. That's a Juno return, okay? So during their Juno returns, they both got married. Literally, I looked this up. Like, my sister actually tried to tell me she didn't get married, but I saw her Juno return. I was like, this would actually, because she was engaged and she was asking me, what would be a good year for me to get married? And I was like, that actually would be this year because your Juno returns this year. And she was like, oh, well, we're going to wait till next year. Whole time, she was already married. Okay, so it's like, okay, but so like your Juno return's a big one. So if your person have Junos together, or you have a nice aspect like a sextile or a trine, that's a good indicator of marriage. Okay, North Node contacts. If this person Saturn is conjunct your North Node, and what I mean by conjunct, I mean they're sitting together, they're sitting next to each other, or they're close. Okay, conjunction, I forgot how many orbs a conjunction is, but it's real close. Okay. So if your Saturn is conjunct their North Node or vice versa, pretty big indicator that this person is meant to help you in some way in your life. You guys are meant to come together. There is karma that you guys have to play out together because Saturn rules karma. So like I said, Saturn placements, very big indicator of commitment or some type of karma there, some type of reason why this person was in your life. And Saturn will tell you that. Okay, it will tell you why this person's in your life. Okay, so synastry charts are a really, really big deal. Moon placements are nice for emotional balance in a relationship. If you guys have completely opposite moon signs, good luck. Really good luck. I mean, honestly, you can make it work, but you gotta know that. You gotta know, like, okay, I have a Capricorn moon, he has a Cancer moon, so I'm gonna be way less emotional. He's gonna be way more emotional. He may take my lack of emotion as a problem because that's how he is emotionally. He needs that Cancerian type of energy, and I'm more Capricorn. So that's automatically something that you're going to know. So like, let's say you're already married, you're already married, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be aspects in YouTube charts that supports that you're married, but you're having trouble in your marriage. You're having communication issues. Well, I have a Leo and Mercury. He has a Leo, he has a Aquarius Mercury. We're going to keep using opposites, right? So he communicates very logical, very effective, and it makes my Leo Mercury, it makes me feel like he isn't as into me as much, or he's not as passionate to me because he texts me real generic, and I'm like, hey babe, guess what happened today? I went and got a smoothie, and I, went to the gym, and I went shopping, and I got a pedicure, and this guy looked at me and said this, and this woman, and like, I tell a story when I speak, right? Because I have a Leo Mercury, I'm very passionate, I have a lot to say. But he has an Aquarius Mercury, so he's just like, yeah babe, went to the gym, picked up a couple beers, I'm on the way to the house. See you when you get there. Very, very straight to the point, very Aquarian-like. And I'm just like, well, he can't be that into me because he didn't tell me what he did at 3:30. He didn't tell me if somebody looked at him wrong. He didn't do that. So that's not the case. It's just that we communicate differently. So that is something, that you guys can look at, along with going to counsel and look at your astrology charts. This is what we used to do in ancient days. This is what people used to do when they would come to astrologers, because this is what's about to happen in 2020 is the people who are into this spirituality, we're actually going to start being exalted to where we were back in the olden days, the ancient days, because you would go to an astrologer, you would go to an occult type of person, a shaman, a sage, and find out if your marriage is a good marriage or not. And astrology is a great way to find out before you get married. But if you're already married, it can definitely help you understand, okay, my partner has this type of Mars, okay? He has a Cancer Mars. Like, I had this was a big one in one of my relationships. My partner had a Cancer Mars, so he was very more softer and sensitive, how he moved, and more nurturing. And I have an Aries moon, an Aries Mars. So I'm just like, let's get this done. Like, even that can affect your sex life, because a Cancer Mars likes more sensual and love making and, you know, emotional bond. And an Aries Mars is like, I'm with all the shits, okay? Aries Mars makes you super kinky. It makes you want super dominant sex, okay? So you guys could be like wanting different types of sex styles. So you're going to have to figure that out. You're going to have to figure out if that Cancer Mars person can come out of their shell and be more dominant. It would be very hard for a Cancer Mars person to do that. So if you're wondering why you're not fulfilled by your partner sexually, it's probably because they don't have sex the same way you do. You guys, or you know what I'm saying, you guys aren't compatible in that way. So your chart is a really, really good way to find out. Not just, oh, well, our Venuses are in the same placement. That can mean a lot of things. Venus in placement, yes. That means that you guys will definitely probably have love for each other. You probably make money the same way. You probably love the same way, right? But let's say, are your emotional channels the same way? Are your moon placements the same way? Are your Mars the same place? Is your Saturn, you know, conducive to you guys having a long-term commitment? Okay, because if I'm telling you right now, I'll say this. If you don't have a lot of Saturn placements in a chart with somebody, it's probably not going to last that long. Okay, even if it's a 6-year, 7-year relationship, there's probably some strong Saturn contacts in y'all chart. Like I've had almost a 6-year type of relationship, and we have strong Saturn connections. Okay, and this is even in friendships. This is not just love, but yeah, if you don't have a lot of Saturn energy in a chart, it's I'm not seeing it last that long. Okay. That's just my opinion. Even if this person may not have a necessarily like a Saturn placement, but let's say their sun sits in your 10th house, right? Because 10th house is ruled by Saturn. That's another Saturn type of energy. So you guys can make it work, because this person may actually help you with your life purpose. They may actually help you with your career with their sun sitting in your 10th house. So even if you guys don't work out in a relationship, this person may never leave your life because they may help you significantly with your career. So there's so many different aspects in a person's chart. You are such a vast being. You are not just 3 signs. You are not just one sign. Okay. If you look at different astrology, you look in different zodiacs, you're a lot of different things. Okay. So you want to definitely know yourself on every level as much as you can, because now that I get in a relationship, I can look at, or if I look at someone's chart, I'm like, I don't think that's going to work out too well, because I know that you have this, you have this. Now, should you give it a chance if you want to, but once you understand, that's the thing about these sciences and tarot and astrology. You can't get this stuff read. You can't get readings and then go back in life and continue to do life the same way that you were doing it before. It makes no sense. If you know something now, like, okay, I know that our Mars are in different placements, so we go about life differently. Understanding that is good, because yeah, maybe you can make it work now that you know that. But let's say it doesn't work out. There's no need to feel failure, or there's no need to feel like, yeah, you can feel heartbreak, but there's no need to feel like, oh my God, it's the worst thing in the world, when you already kind of know from your charts that, you know, this wasn't probably going to work out too much because of these things. Okay. If you're, you know, really into astrology, of course, I don't tell you to base your life off of it, but I'm telling you, it's a pretty big indicator of whether or not something's going to work or not. So Synastry charts are a great way to find out if someone is there for the long haul, if it's even something that you guys can work on. And it's a good to tell you your problems, your blocks, where you guys are going to be good together at, what's going to be nice about the relationship. It's all that. If you're going to have children with this person, you know, that's all in your Synastry chart. That's all in your astrology chart. Okay. I do Synastry readings. I haven't really added them to the website yet, but I do Synastry readings, and I do astrology readings. You just have to email me, because I'm not putting them up on the site, because I would get a bunch of requests and it would be crazy. Because astrology charts, they can get to up to like 40, 50 pages. So I just do them by request if people are interested in them. Please keep in mind that I'm a sidereal astrologer. Yes, I can read Western astrology, but when I read you, I'm going to use what makes me comfortable. Okay, so it will be a very accurate reading, but it just might not be what you're used to. Okay. Everyone reads differently, just like tarot. So I hope that this helps you. This is just a little talk. I'm going to be doing these where because I be talking, but you guys get a lot of information from what I say, because I just be thinking I be ranting, but the whole time you guys get information from this. So I hope that you guys do get some information. I definitely suggest, on top of the tarot readings, get astrology readings done for your person and you. It will help you out significantly. Okay. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.